Subscribe to my channel, or I'll leak your browsing history to the Murkoff Corporation and let them decide if you need therapy. Welcome to Massive Asylum, a serene retreat in the Colorado wilderness where guests are regularly dismembered, sedated, and spiritually possessed by rogue nanotechnology, and somehow are still more sane than when they arrive. I play as Miles Upshur, a man whose brain is powered entirely by Red Bull and bad choices. He's an investigative journalist, which I assume means he breaks into haunted buildings, films everything, and then dies tragically off camera. An apex predator in the world of freelance journalism. His natural prey includes corporate secrets, NDAs, and his own sense of self-preservation. Armed with a camcorder and a dream. Immediately, he finds blood, a broken femur, and more corpses than friends. Here, we see a man who tried to invent the human kebab. Unfortunately, he succeeded. Just pretty standard customer service for Murkoff. Enter Chris Walker, a shirtless beefcake built like a tank and powered by pure rage. He's basically the asylum's head of HR, except instead of dealing with complaints, he just tears people alive.
What?
But Miles tanks the fall like a true protagonist, landing on his back and walking it off with the power of journalistic stubbornness, or writer's bias. I mean, did this really even happen? It seems so hard to believe that someone can survive half the things Miles does. Miles encounters Father Martin, a deeply spiritual bald man who believes that hallucinations and scientific horrors are miracles, and that Miles is some kind of messiah. As is tradition among cult leaders, Father Martin helps by drugging Miles, imprisoning him, and then lighting himself on fire in a show of devotion. It's basically Sunday brunch for this guy. Here, we meet a man in a wheelchair. He looks harmless, which in Outlast terms means he's about to ruin your whole day. This gentleman hasn't stood up in years, but he'll still make you jump higher than he ever could. Most people in wheelchairs deserve sympathy. This one deserves an exorcism.
Me typing, me hack.
So, the power gets cut, which is fantastic, because exploring a basement in total darkness is exactly what I signed up for. To restore power, Miles has to turn on the generator, because nothing screams career in journalism quite like unpaid electrical work in a haunted asylum. At this point, he's less of a reporter and more of a part-time maintenance guy for Murkoff Industries. Of course, the second the generator starts humming, the local psychopath rocks up. My response: I demonstrate my tactical genius by sliding under a bed. Apparently this man can butcher a man in half, but can't check basic bedroom furniture. So I just lie there, completely still, like an unpaid intern hiding from their boss. He stomps around, fails to spot me, and I live to continue regretting my career choices. So these are the twins. 2 7-foot nudists who look like they've been on a strict diet of creatine and human flesh. They politely inform me that they're going to kill me. So naturally, I mock them from the other side of a locked gate. Because if there's one thing scarier than 2 naked men, it's 2 naked men who can't reach you. Feeling proud of myself, I open a random door and instantly get jump scared by a man in a window. Later, I run into the twins again, and once more I mock them from being behind a set of bars. At this point, I'm basically the world's bravest zookeeper.
These guys are actually itching to kill me right now. Like, genuinely itching to kill me.
What happens next cannot be legally shown in most countries. All I'll say is that I was the unwilling centerpiece in what can only be described as an Eiffel Tower of disappointment. Just when I think I've lost him, Chris Walker shows up again. 8 feet of pure cholesterol in human form. While casually getting my daily steps in, I'm thrown by an explosion, and I plummet 3 stories onto a pile of corpses. It's like doing parkour, if the landing pad is expired deli meat.
That is fucking gross.
While I'm busy checking if my spine still exists, another guy jump scares me,
Oh yeah, buddy.
only to be immediately thrown over a railing. Before I can celebrate, I'm grabbed from behind, which is concerning because the asylum doesn't exactly run background checks. A species of violent nudist common in these halls. Chris is an ex-military walrus with rage issues, and he's currently hunting Miles for sport, snacks, or both. Despite his 300-pound frame, Chris is surprisingly agile, a credit to Murkoff's cardio programs and perhaps the ungodly strength that comes with hatred and bulk protein shakes. To survive, Miles must rely on the sacred right of hiding in lockers, the asylum's equivalent of going invisible.
They're very simplistic in their movements in this game, I'll tell you that much for sure. So, do this, hop in a locker, wait for him to come in, search the other locker. Wait, what?
Truly, my brain is my greatest weakness. I head deeper into the asylum. A man with a baton sneaks up, smacks me, and then runs away, which is unusual behavior for someone who is clearly winning the fight. It's like mugging a guy and then leaving the wallet behind out of respect. Next, I'm chased by 2 maniacs, because apparently Massive Asylum has a buy one, get one free policy. After running through half the asylum, I find this tiny elevator thing. A voice tells me to get in, and for some reason I just do it. No hesitation. I basically hand myself over, like an idiot. The door's shut, it starts moving, and I realise I've just put complete trust in some random man in a murder asylum. What could go wrong? This isn't survival. It's foreplay for a snuff film. I then meet Dr. Trager, a professional man. Oh no, wait, he's just punched me in the face and forced me into a wheelchair. Dr. Trager is a charming sociopath who practices medicine the same way toddlers practice piano, chaotically and with permanent consequences. He removes 2 of Miles's fingers, then chases him around with office furniture, laughing like he's just invented malpractice. So, I wander into a room and find a man chained to a bed. He's clearly being worked on by Dr. Trager, and judging by the state of him, let's just say it wasn't a cosmetic procedure. The poor guy tries to speak. I give him a quick look, pretend I care, and then move on. Because I'm a journalist, not a miracle worker. I finally grab the elevator key and head back, only for Trager to show up again, chasing me like I stole his Netflix password. I keep calm and we move on.
Oh, thank fuck. Oh, I'm getting crushed. Oh, he's gonna get crushed. Did I do that? Did I do that? Did I do that?
Then I find another guy scrubbing down what looks to be a dead body. At this point, I can't tell if he's cleaning the man or just giving him the world's worst sponge bath. Either way, I push a button and put the fire out, because apparently I'm now a part-time janitor. As I leave, Fire Guy jumps out at me for a cheap scare.
Oh, yeah, fucking bitch.
Thanks for the trauma, mate. While trying to meet up with the priest, I jump a gap, and my camera falls into the abyss. Because nothing says horror like losing your only torch in a building powered entirely by evil and asbestos. so I climb all the way down to get it. I grab it back, because apparently journalists in this game can survive multiple near-death experiences, but not low lighting. 3 guys appear. I manage to lose them, not through skill, just pure stupidity on their part. For a game called Outlast, I sure seem to get out first a lot. I finally make it back to the main hall, the same one I started in, which is less comforting and more depressing, because it means that all this pain and suffering was basically for nothing. I then sit back and watch a tape on the big screen, because hey, if I'm gonna do all this work for Murkoff, I deserve a break. After watching a pirated movie, I head upstairs and find Father Martin, who decides to light himself on fire in front of me, in his grand finale.
I don't think this guy's fucking resurrected. I think he's got some false prophet stuff. Oh, thank you, kind sir.
Before that, he tells me that the elevator is finally fixed. Great news, I can finally leave. Except, no. Instead of going to the exit like a normal piece of machinery, it takes me down to the basement, because apparently elevators in Outlast have a mind of their own.
What in the residential fucking evil is this? Am I about to fucking enter a laser maze or something?
Meeting the Wallrider is simple. He shows up, I panic, and then I run away. I don't do good in social situations.
Oh, fuck off.
The Wallrider picks Chris Walker up and absolutely destroys him. After hours of torment, watching him get blended in midair is the closest thing this game gave me to therapy.
What is that thing?
I meet an old man in a wheelchair who tells me there's only one way to stop the Wallrider, and that's to kill Billy. I find him floating in a life support bubble and start shutting it down. One valve, some wires ripped out an electrical box, and finally putting my hand on a console. Billy dies, but not before the Wallrider chases me through the lab.
Oh. That's awkward.
I then proceed to plummet to the ground at Mark 3.
Here? Oh. Yeah, let me just... We did it. Oh, maybe not. Is that not Billy? Did I just spend the last 5 minutes killing someone who wasn't Billy? He's had a fair bit of damage happen to him, but still. Oh well. I'm glad I fucking spent 3 hours doing this. You're kidding. 3 hours.